let's talk about nerdism this week.
All right.
The nerdisms. I feel bad because, well, Nuggy Meal's here. You know who I haven't heard from in a long time? Chris. I haven't heard from Chris in like
Thanks for
forever.
the door open too.
Oh, that's probably my wife. She's here.
All right.
Yeah, she's like, I got the day off. I'm enjoying it. I'm like, okay, cool.
The world is a little shut down right now, which is nice.
Yeah, everything's off.
As I was pulling through town, I was like, there are no people on these roads. Hopefully that stays that way all the way through, like, till when I have to go home tonight. Let's ballpark it.
I may or may not have to go to work. We'll see. We'll find out. Right now it's working. It's not going to work here soon. I know it. Because I have hope. That's the problem. You know what ruins everything?
What?
Hope.
Hope, yeah, sure it does.
Hope ruins everything. Like, watch, I'm going to go away.
All right.
And then when we come back. Anyways, okay, so for those of you who are curious, you can check us out on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and CastBox. You can download us and put a little nerdy in your pocket. You can also watch us on YouTube if you can't catch us later on. And then we try to stream live every Wednesday. What does Nuggy Meal say? Pray for the Twitch Lords.
Twitch Lords. Are there Twitch Lords? Like new gods?
Probably. Okay, here we go. We're going to make sure my phone is off. Okay. So, every Wednesday, and then every Monday we also do a Twitch streamer highlight interview. So, last week we did Flaming Monocle. If you haven't checked that out, go over to YouTube. This upcoming Monday, we're going to be interviewing Bagel Rabbit. So Flaming Monocle is a guy who streams off camera. Okay. So he's got no camera, but he has production value that is just insane. And his whole shtick is about being evil. But like 1800s Victorian.
Okay.
Evil, monocle.
Good evil.
Yeah. So he's really entertaining. And then on top of that, we have, who else? So Bagel Rabbit plays the violin, and he's an artist. That's his stream.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's insane. Like, I didn't know you could do, like, you can, sorry. I think that's my wife's mom actually sending a message. You could barely pick it up on the audio there. There we go. Okay, so he's got like an electric violin, which I've never seen before, and I'm like, that thing is so cool. And I was watching him just rock out the other night.
That's right. I can't play any instruments. Not a one. I was a drummer, but I can't keep a beat. So our band instructor was like, no. Then I stopped just doing anything.
I told my band instructor, I said, I want to do the drums. And he looked at me and he said, sir, you have no rhythm. And I said, okay. He was like, yeah, not happening. But yeah, so Bagel Rabbit, we're going to do an interview with him. It'll be later in the evening. So kind of keep an eye out for that. And then, yeah, we're going to start doing, so Nate, Tommy, me, and then a few extra people are going to start doing Dungeons and Dragons coming up. Dancing to this. I'm going to close that door. I'm going to get up. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to keep mumbling as I walk across the room. Drake, feel free to yep. And then so if Nate shows up, he shows up.
He knows how doors work.
He does? I'm like terrified.
He doesn't know how time works. No offense, Nate. If you're saying this out later, I fucking love you, man. But no, as far as getting somewhere in an amount of time.
Ugh. Okay, we did it. We made it. All right, so we're fighting this uphill battle that is Wednesday in the frozen tundra of doom. For those of you who don't know, so we're naming this what tundra is this because we're living in the icy form of hell.
If you've read, do you know what Dante's Inferno?
I've heard of Dante's Inferno.
So it's like different levels of hell is the idea.
Yeah.
So like the one that is furthest from God, so the deepest of hell is very cold and icy rather than hot because it's completely removed from God.
So Iowa.
Yeah,
really the Midwest.
Right now here, this.
Yeah.
Hell is real. We're there.
The thing that freaked me out the most the other day, someone was telling me, so we my wife and I were driving home and we look out and there's a dude on his roof with a shovel. And I looked at my wife and I'm like, what in the hell is he doing? And she's like, oh, well, you see, if we get too much snow on our roof, we're going to need to shovel it off. And I'm like, looking outside, like, it's already a lot of snow.
It looks like you're going to have to be on the roof.
And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not into that at all.
Cave in.
What's that?
You can that'll cave in if it gets like too much snow on your roof. That's like, I think, the fear.
Yeah. But then someone introduced this idea to me. There's a thing called the roof rake.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, oh, Christopher Goodrich. Hey, Jay, I'm getting cold out here in a doghouse. Can I come inside or give me a lot of extra blankets? Plankets? I can give you plankets if you want, since you asked for them. What is this weather? It feels like the movie Day After Tomorrow. Oh, okay, yeah. It feels like the one that I never watched.
There was like a couple, I think, that came out at that time that were like the same thing-ish.
Weather is going to destroy us.
Yeah.
Armageddon's the only one that pulled off the Doomsday end of tomorrow thing, and that's because they, like, I don't know. It's the only one that I was like, I'm gonna watch this. Everything else I was like, nah.
Yeah, that's definitely the good one too.
Bruce Willis, that's all I need. Bruce Willis, little Liv Tyler. Yeah. So we're living in the world of tomorrow.
Hellscape.
And someone introduced this idea of a roof rake, and apparently it's a really long rake that you just scrape the ice and snow off the top of your roof with. And I'm like, I can get down with that. Like that, because I don't like ladders and heights, and I don't like being on my roof.
Before our McDonald's switched to the hipster coffee look.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We had this, like, interesting scoop that was weird shaped because, you know, how a McDonald's roof looks.
Yeah.
And you'd have to, like, get up, you'd have to, like, put it up and then just pull it down and you'd pull off just all sorts of snow. I like to wait till people were coming out and I'm like, run!
Just avalanche them. Yeah, it's cold, but yeah. So Drake, what kind of nerdy stuff have you been up to lately?
What kind of nerdy stuff?
Yeah, have you nerded these past couple Tundra weeks? Or months, really. It's been a while since. It was before Christmas.
It's been a little while.
It was before Christmas.
Not really. Me and Nate were playing Skyrim last night, but...
That's awesome. So, okay, what was your Christmas like? I know.
Christmas?
Yeah.
Like, usually, like, what we do, my mom lives in Michigan. So when she picks a day to come down, like a weekend to come down, and we're like, fucking Christmas is in January now. So my mom is going to be not around. So after she's going, my mom is soon going on a cruise. Or no, she's flying to Sydney for a vacation.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just going to go die in the outback. It's fun.
Yeah, well, Australia scares me. Like my wife's like, I'd like to go there, and I'm like, I don't want to be eaten.
You have to be on the coast or you will die.
Yeah.
The more inland you go, the more things that will kill you.
Yeah. There's stories. Like someone was telling me this story. I don't know if I've talked about this in the podcast before, but there's these spiders that go out in the field and they lay millions of eggs out in the fields, and then the little baby spiders are born, and what they do is they make little spider like parachutes.
Yeah.
And the wind blows and it picks up millions of spiders. And then what happens is they're like, this is the place, and then they decide to fall. And so in certain areas of Australia, it will literally rain spiders.
That hell is real. that is hell.
What? I mean, that is the nice thing about being in this frozen tundra. Is like we don't have to worry. Like it was like, oh, it's snowing. It's like, nah.
So, I like to have my boy Drist over into my home.
I can go to the Irwin Zoo in Australia.
You can't necessarily see Nate chain smoking when he's on the podcast.
Yeah, no, you don't get to see that.
That's an important describing feature of Nate. And so when he's in your house, you have to make him window it up.
That makes sense.
And I live in the house that I grew up in, and me and my brothers were kind of aggressive children, throwing a lot of balls. So all of the windows upstairs, all of the screens have popped out so many goddamn times that the screen physically cannot stay in. so I have no screens. So if I open up the window during the summertime when Nate's there, bugs come in.
Yeah.
Not an issue right
now. No. More like the frozen tundra of hell comes in.
Or farm cats, if they figured out how to get on the roof.
Or farm cats.
You got a real farm cat problem.
You're just chilling out, just, oh God, no.
You joke.
You sleep, well, I mean, so I used to have cats, so I can imagine this, like, you're sleeping. Do you have cats?
I have 2 Siamese cats inside, and literally an untold number of cats outside. I have outbuildings.
So can you imagine waking up to like a foreign cat in your face, like trying to like nuzzle up, like
they're usually not that friendly.
Yeah.
But, we have this cat that it's stunted, and it is seriously like less than 6 inches long, and I don't think it ever physically will be larger than that. It's got like a inbred from inbred, and then inbred more times. Kind of a problem.
Like a pygmy cat.
So my dad's calling it Baba Ganoush, and I refuse to give it a real name because it can't last. It is
you're not going to get attached?
It's the only one of its litter left, and it's going to go walk straight into traffic because it can't think. It's incapable of thought. So it's going to go walk straight into traffic and die.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That's, oh man.
I can't emotionally. He's French. I don't know if it's a he. They. We'll say they. They are an interesting creature.
I'm not a cat person. So
you want a free cat?
What?
You want a free cat?
I don't.
Blomf.
I don't want Blomf. I'm not a cat. Here's the thing, okay? I like other people's cats. I will tell everyone that. I love other people's cats. I will play with them all day long. I will pet them. I will have fun with them. But here's the thing. Cats and I don't get along because they're smarter than me, and I know that. And I'm like a dumb, angry caveman. Because so go back a little bit. Like we used to have a couple of cats. We had this one that like would come out, and she would like hide under the Christmas tree and wait for you to walk by. Then she would dash out and just right onto your ankles. And then you'd be like, oh God, and you'd fall down.
That's a good solid cat. That's good. That's a good cat.
That is catisms right there. But then, right, so so one time I wake up, so she was the type of cat that like, she was an inside-outside cat. We found her as a wild kitten. We nursed her back to health because she almost died. We raised her.
Sometimes that gives them some important perspective.
Yeah, she's a beautiful tabby cat. So I come out, and she would go in the litter box up until a certain point, and it wouldn't be full. It would just be full for her standards, and then she's like, I'm going outside, and we're like cool with that. But I come out, I wake up at 2 a.m. I'm like, I gotta take a leak, and I come down, and she's standing by the door, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, look, I don't know how to work a door right now. It's 2 a.m. and so I just go to the bathroom, go upstairs, go to bed. I wake up, and parallel to my face on the floor, like my face is here on the floor next to me, she shit the biggest shit she ever did. And here's the thing, like that okay, I was like, okay, that's karma. But the worst part was like she was standing in the doorway, just looking at me, like she'd waited for hours for this, like just kind of looked at me like, next time, bitch, you open that door.
For you to wake up, you're gonna wake up and. Hot shit.
They're smart. They're terrifyingly smart. We had another cat that he was kind of dumb, but he was still entertaining.
That's sometimes the best one.
Yeah, he was half Himalayan, half Siamese. So he's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's a pretty cat.
And he would get like food drunk. So like he would constantly eat if he could. So there's like one time, like he found out how to open the cupboard door with his little paws. Like he had no claws, so he just pop the cupboard door open, crawl in. If the bag was open, you just find him laying in the bag, just eating, just lethargically too. Like he would take a bite, he just, and then and then one time, I was like, "Ha, motherfucker, you're not getting around it today because the bag is like it's a brand new bag, so it's not even open, so we don't have to worry about it today." And I come downstairs. And he's sitting here, he's like, he ate a hole in the bag and then was laying in the bag eating the food in the bag. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, And so my mom had this habit, right, where she would drink the Mountain Dew, or what is that? Where she'd drink Mountain Dew, and she'd get 20 ounces. She'd just leave the lid open, just a straw, pop it in there, and she would sip on it like all day long. And we couldn't figure out why the cat was a fucking psycho for like a month. Like I was like, he would never sleep. He just never slept, like all night. Like I
know the answer to this one.
Hardwood floors. You'd hear him, thrum, 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 shh, boom, hit the wall, and then he'd go, meow, all night long. And I was like, shut up, because I slept downstairs. I'm like, you need to shut up. Just shut your damn mouth. I'm sleeping. And we couldn't figure it out. And then my aunt was watching him like drink my mom's Mountain Dew. Every time my mom walked away, he'd be like, and we were like, holy shit, we cut him off the Mountain Dew and he was fine. Like
it wasn't the straw?
Mellowed down. No, it wasn't the straw. He'd straight up just face in the Mountain Dew, drink it. And my aunt's like, my mom goes sit down to like drink it. My aunt's like, wait, don't drink that. And she's like, what? She's like, yeah, don't drink that. What is this?
It says that I'm nearby you.
Oh, it's just
As it turns out, we're near.
I have a friend who works on the other side of town and lives further on he lives in the middle of town and he lives further on the other side of town. And every morning, for no reason, I wake up to, he's near. On Facebook. Say hi. And I'm like,
Jesus.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Oh, you know what? I just realized it. He's a swim coach, so I bet he's at the college pool.
Oh, that makes
way more sense. I've been trying to figure that out I was gonna message him and be like, "Are you stalking me, bro? Like, like what are you doing outside of my house every day? Because it's early in the morning. He's near." And I'm like, I don't know. I hate when. That's the one thing. Like Facebook, I don't have that. I don't have respect for that. Like, I don't need that. Like,
I don't need... Like, I live in the middle of, like, buttfuck nowhere. So, when I'm at home, it never says that I'm near anybody. If it did, I would be, like, freaking out. Although my boss told me the other day that he found out where I live. I'm like, I live in the middle of nowhere. There's no way that you know where I live. I live on a white house with a red barn on a road with white houses and red barns. I can't even give you directions.
You could just give him an address and you can Google it, and then you end up lost in a lake, you know.
One of the descriptions that like my dad likes to use to describe where we live is he'll look at somebody and be like, Do you know where Vern Nichols' old place?
Oh, that's a parent thing.
What's stupid?
Nate's on his way! Okay,
is that his sister used to live in that fucking house. And he doesn't refer to it as Bev's old house. Whoever the shit Vern Nickel is.
My dad is constantly like, you remember John Johansson, right? Or something like that. Like, just some ridiculous ass name. And I'm like, fuck no. Like, I don't. You remember your great uncle Tim Bob, right? And I'm like, no. If I did, I would be referring to Tim Bob all the time. Like, come on,
Dad.
That's
an amazing name, Tim Bob.
I don't have a great uncle Tim Bob, but it's just, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's ridiculous. Also, so Nate's on his way. Chris sends me a message. Jay, my grandma's house has a ton of cats in their barn. Do you want some? Why is it when I say I hate cats, every person with 1 million cats comes out and says, do you want some kitties?
I was trying to offer you a couple of cats as well.
Everyone's like, I have cats! Take them! And I'm like, I just told you I don't like cats.
I'm not a big cat person. Drake shows up with a basket of farm cats.
You need one?
You need several.
Take it.
I could just ring your doorbell several times and run.
I don't do cats. Like, I do other people's cats. Like, I will go and I will play with other people's cats, and I'll have a great time.
I'm the other way. I don't give 2 shits about your cat. Yeah, not 2 shits do I give.
I see someone's cat, and I'm like, kitty! And I just go and I'm like, this is my time to play with cats. After that, I go home into my catless home with my petless home with no hair. Like, the only hair is mine. Like, that's gross. But
I don't have hair, so at least you got something to lose.
Yeah,
stop brushing so hard.
Stop brushing so hard. I just don't. I don't cats. I don't cats at all. So, I like other people's cats. Like, my brother-in-law has a cat. I should say my sister and my brother-in-law have a cat. They have like 3 actually. They kidnapped one. Long story. Anyways.
You know what? Sometimes you see someone else's cat and you're like, it's a fresh ass fucking cat.
Well,
that
like
shows up missing.
It's like a kitten shows up at their house, and then it like showed up like 2 or 3 times, and they're like, "This is our kitten now. We're pretty sure we know where it is, but it's our kitten now." So every now and then I see them, I'm like, "You stole that cat," and they're like, I said, "There's probably some little girl crying at home," and my sister's like, "Don't make me feel terrible. I love this cat." I'm like, "Okay." But anyways, they have this other cat that they saved from actually my parents' backyard. Because my parents have some wild cats around. Like, there's that neighborhood. There's a wild cat population. So they saved that cat. And he is hyper as shit. And I love playing with him. Every time I finish playing with him, I look like I'm a cutter. Like, I just have scratches and cuts all the way up and down my arm, and I'm like, kitty time! Like, and I come out covered in his fur.
I'm not sad.
Yeah. I've covered. They have to know I'm not a cutter because I have a big smile on my face. I'm just like, this is the best day ever!
I don't know. I think that a lot of cutters are like, hey, guy! You know, very friendly, and they go home and they're sad.
That's true. And they probably...
The impression works, man.
They probably come out covered in cat hair too, because I'm guessing they're cat people.
They're cat people. We've only described these people a little bit, but they sound like
like cat people. I just stereotyped a lot of cat people as cutters. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so I'm not a cat person. Let's get into, since Nate's on his way. So before we get on the doom train of distraction,
we could actually talk about nerdy news.
We're gonna knock out the nerdy news. Okay, we got first look at Zombieland 2.
Oh yeah,
the picture. Did you see the picture?
Yeah. It's like the same as the old picture, but it's like
yeah, they did the 10-year challenge.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a fantastic way to present that. Actually, it was very smart. I think it looks cool. Abigail Breslin's a tiny adult now.
She's always gonna be a kid to me.
Yeah, she keeps. So I watched this movie with Dakota Fanning the other day, and I realized, I was like, wait a minute, that's Dakota Fanning as an adult, and she looks like an adult. She doesn't even look like Dakota Fanning anymore. However,
the group chat that we're on just got it.
What do you say? It's kind of late and V works today, not to mention it's death outside. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Nate's not on his way. That's fine.
Nate's not on his way.
That is, we will survive.
We're
gonna just tell him, you fucking watch the podcast, you son of a bitch. No. So Abigail Breslin, though, still looks like a teenager. Like, she's not, but she's still, because she's so tiny. Starship Troopers may have a TV show coming out soon. It has the original cast.
Okay.
From the movie, so they're gonna probably make a TV show.
They like doing that. That's what we've been doing now, is seeing if we can't get an old band back together.
Yeah, which is nice. I think that's cool. I think the only hard score they're gonna have is NPH. I think Neil Patrick Harris.
All you have to do for NPH is you get to wear silly costumes and you can sing the theme song.
Did he survive that movie? I don't even remember. I forgot people died in that thing. That movie gave me nightmares.
It's kind of it's a little heavy.
The bug that came out and sucked the brains out of that guy and then blew him to pieces. Ugh. Sorry,
You're all right.
That gave me nightmares. Ronda Rousey is going to be playing Sonya Blade in Mortal Kombat 11. She's just going to voice her. They're not doing mocap with her or anything, which I think is a bit of a missed opportunity, but still pretty cool. Yeah. It's a good cast. I dig that. Birds of Prey teaser came out. It was 5 seconds.
Don't you love those?
Yeah, it was clip, 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 clip. If you want to see a good breakdown, watch New Rockstars. They break down everything. Any nerd movie that comes out, they'll do a 3-minute teaser, they'll do a 20-minute breakdown.
I love those.
Yeah.
Anytime Doctor Who does anything, people just we get a 3-second glimpse and they rip it the fuck apart.
They're gonna rant about it. Do you see the makeup in the corner of the face? Anyways, GameStop is not being sold now. They were going to be sold. Now they scrapped it. They're like, yeah, no, whatever.
I've not been in a GameStop since like I don't know. Did you know they peaked in 2013? That can't be true. That can't be true.
You know what sucks is like their game is stepping up. They have a cool like they sell like Funko Pop stuff now. They sell cool like so for like cool like they don't just do video games anymore. So they're
I've not been in one since high school.
They're interesting. It was like the last year. Like I walked in there, I was like, holy shit! They sell retro games again.
Do they?
Yeah, they started selling retro games. They have a little cabinet where everything's locked up, and it's not a lot of them, but I don't know if you can buy an N64 from them, but you can buy N64 games.
All right.
But if you need an N64, like they go up like every 3 months on the marketplace on Facebook.
I'm sure I could find an N64.
Yeah, someone was selling one for $30 the other day, and I was like, if I had money and it wasn't the frozen tundra of winter where no one came to my work, I would go out and buy that. But not today.
I'd be so afraid it doesn't actually work though. I'm gonna get it all the way home and
right?
Another dead one.
Well, so this one that they were selling was $30, and it came with the expansion pack. Yeah, see, and I was like, ooh, tempting, because that thing's $25 on its own. Those things, ooh, yeah, ooh. New Mutants, the movie with this is like gonna be the X-Men movie.
Are we finally getting some X-Men?
They canceled it. So we're getting X-Men this summer.
Are we? Is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Technically, it could be happening within the Avengers universe. Technically.
No.
It like the X-Men and is a part of Marvel, which is like.
So this is supposed to be the movie that's coming out this summer, not New Mutants, but the other movie, Dark Phoenix, is coming out this summer. Which why? X-Men 3 mutilated it, so why would we touch that again? I don't know.
Right, but I just thought that just the idea of I know a lot about I've been actually watching the X-Men. Do you remember the old animated series?
Hell yeah, I binged that one 3 or 4 years back.
I'm halfway through season 1.
It's so good.
Could dedicate more time to it, but
yeah, it's so good. When it came out, like I didn't have responsibilities. So
I don't have responsibilities now.
So I just binged it. But anyways, I also didn't have a lot of people in my life. Like I went to my hobbit hole that was my apartment back then.
It was binge watch.
Yeah,
I'm getting out of the whole
out.
binge watching stuff. I don't know. Like I'm an adult.
Well, so we're oversaturated in content, which makes it hard. It is a crippling thing trying to make a decision. Like my wife and I will sit down and try and figure out like what movie we want to watch. It takes hours. Anyways, Dark Phoenix comes out this summer. It is supposed to be the end chapter, but New Mutants has been postponed again. And then on top of that, it may, instead of be coming out in theaters, they may just release it on Hulu. so it looks like this is fallen into.
I'll be all right.
Yeah, well, it looks like it's just fallen into the shithole. Like it's in the.
That does not sound good for the quality.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Which is unfortunate because there's some really good people like Macy. I think her name is Macy Williams, the girl from Game of Thrones. The.
Who do we have playing like? The X-Men, though.
Well, so there's no X-Men in this movie. This is New Mutants. It's in the X-Men universe, but it's like they're trying to do like a horror version of X-Men.
Through Phoenix, this is how we get like the 80. There's Cable, and then there's like 97 other Cables.
Yeah, this isn't even like future stuff. This is like just like I think it's like the X-Men have died off. And this is just a new class of mutants, which and the guy from Stranger Things who plays the creepy brother, he's gonna be in there. Which I feel a need for, like I feel a hole that I want filled by him, like in more media and content. Like,
I get you there.
I think he's fantastic. I want to see him in more stuff. But he's going to be in New Mutants. Macy Williams is going to be in New Mutants, but it's probably going to end up on Hulu. That was the announcement this week.
That does not sound good in terms of quality, though.
Switch was the best selling console in 2018.
I find that hard to believe.
It beat everything, mainly because of Japan. So
okay, I don't live there, so that would be fair.
The Switch in Japan also has a better support than it does here in the U.S. I don't know what's going on.
Just like trying to if you wanted to play online and talk to your friends, I've seen how the fuck you're supposed to do that, and
it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But
plug your phone into a hoo-ha.
I think that's limited to patents. I think it's limited because of patents. So I think Sony and PC own the patents for wireless technology.
Okay.
And then Xbox owns the patent, which was the next level of devolution, which was to plug your headset into your controller and let your controller do all that, which was a brilliant thing.
That was smart.
I mean, it was smart. It's still annoying, but it's not unbearable like the fucking Switch. What drives me nuts the most about it is the fact that they're like, look, and they're like, it's cool, I swear, and we're like, no,
that's some
it's
horse
not.
Shit right there.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And I've always assumed Nintendo had more money than God. So anytime they do anything, I'm just like...
Patent-wise, well, they ran out of money for a while there. The reason why... So they announced a while ago the reason why they came out with the classic consoles were to fund the Switch.
I thought Pokemon Go funded the Switch.
No. Pokemon Go is a whole nother company.
Are you sure?
Niantic.
Nintendo owns Pokemon though.
Yeah,
so they're getting
their money, but I'm pretty sure the classic consoles were a desperate ploy, and they're and basically since the Switch is so successful now, people are like, "Are you coming out with the N64 classic?"
That's how they would make all of the goddamn money.
And you know what they said? They were like, "Nah."
Right.
and people were like, "What?"
Everybody if you could just rebuild an N64. If they could rebuild a console, and if I still had my box of all the cartridges and could play all of my old games.
Can you imagine, you know what would be a smart idea is to come out with the GameCube and the N64, just the straight console. You still get controllers and everything, but instead of the component cables, it's HD.
Oh.
You would sell millions. And you don't have to sell the games, but you just sell the actual consoles. You would sell millions.
Oh yeah, you would make so much fucking money.
There is a hookup with a chip in it for the GameCube you can buy that plugs into the back of your GameCube where the component cables go. That's an HDMI.
Yeah.
It turns an HDMI. Guess how much that thing fucking costs?
How much?
$150.
I have I know a guy that
I'd rather just buy a GameCube.
I swear to Christ, he had a 3-prong to HDMI. I swear to Christ.
But you know what's a better idea? Just buy a Wii and get the HDMI hookup for the Wii. It's a better idea because the Wii still plays GameCube games, or plays GameCube games, and it'll plug into the GameCube controller.
Yeah, the Wii was kind of a novelty at best.
Yeah.
I own one, and it is some goddamn place.
I used to tell people that at gamers, and it would blow their mind. They're like,
you gotta turn it outside, flip up the hoo-ha.
Yeah, pop the thing. Those are GameCube ports, and they're like,
also play almost all the Wii games with a fucking GameCube controller.
Yeah.
Making everything so much goddamn easier.
That was 90% of the reason why I didn't play games on the Wii was because they forced the motion controls, which they still do it a little bit with the Switch, but not nearly as bad. The Super Mario Odyssey, how to flick your hat thing was kind of annoying, but you can still use your Pro controller. So not bad. Not bad. What do we got? Here, Chris?
Things are happening.
My dad has an N64, but we haven't played in over 5 years. Bring it over, Chris.
Get rid of that hoo-ha.
Bring it over, Chris.
At somewhere.
Bust that biz notch out.
I have a box of games. I bought it off of a dude in college for $80. I don't know where that thing is. It might still be in college, which won't be good for me.
But
somewhere I own a bunch of... And it's got Smash... And do you remember Tetris? You were N64 Tetris?
I never played Tetris on the N64.
You could build blocks.
That's like when they're like, play Monopoly, and I was like, fuck off. I'll play Tetris on my Game Boy. But my nephew plays Tetris Effect on PS4.
I don't trust whatever that is.
It's Tetris, but they have cool music, and every time you they do soothing, fun music in the background, and like when I was watching him, there's stingrays and water shit happening in the background every time you completed a thing. It would go boom, and then everything in the background would be affected by it, and it's incredibly soothing. It's like a lava lamp for gaming, Anyways.
This sounds a lot like Nate introduced me a game that was on the 360 that changed my life. Do you know Peggle?
Oh, yeah,
I can play
Nate is
Peggle
addicted to Peggle.
Me and Nate can play Peggle for that, and I am, we call me buckets, because I will send every single peg that every ball that I throw will end up in that fucking bucket.
Nate is a Peggle addict.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it was, so Nuggy Meal says Tetris Effect is good, and then Chris was saying they have Star Wars Pod Racer for the N64. Did you ever play Pod Racer?
I have played that.
I love Pod Racer.
It's a solid game.
The Barcade, so the Bar Arcade in Des Moines. Have you been there?
Up, down, or whatever it is.
Yeah, they have an N64 hooked up to a projection TV, and you can just grab games and put them in. And I was like, "You guys have Pod Racer?" And they're like, "No." So I went out to Gamers when it was still here, bought Pod Racer, drove it back out to them, and said, "You have it now." And the guy was like, "Okay, completely different person." He's like,
"He has no frame of reference."
Yeah, you just handed it to him and left.
Have you ever been to? Have you heard of the Cellar Peanut Pub in Newton?
No.
They have a Galaga arcade.
Oh.
I saw it and I was like, "Don't even need money for beer, guys. I'll be over there."
I'm going to give you all my quarters.
Go up to the bar and I'm like, "Hey, I brought $100 for beer. Can you convert this into straight quarters? I'm going to just be there."
Oh my God. Okay. More nerdy news. Resident Evil TV series coming to Netflix. Resident Evil 2's out. Did you play the demo at all or check that out at all?
Like a re-release of
They completely head to toe remastered Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 was like fixed perspective, right? Like they would put you in a weird corner of the room, which was your perspective going.
I think so, yeah.
Which made it fucking unplayable.
Well, that's especially weird because
if you've played,
a lot of people say Resident Evil 2 is like their favorite game ever. And
really?
So they've re-released it. It's updated graphics.
Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah, well there is that debate. It scared the living hell out of me, the demo for the new one. I screamed like a bitch.
Did you watch
the highest pitch I could scream?
Did you play through Resident Evil 7?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, so Resi 7 actually didn't. It scared me, but it didn't scare me like this demo scared me.
Really?
But I'm not a zombie fan, and Resi 7's not really zombies.
No.
There's something totally different.
That is just it is like it's got like if there's a little more banjo, it would have like a Deliverance-y vibe.
Yeah.
I think.
It was very entertaining though. And the twist at the end blew my damn mind.
Yeah.
I loved it. I absolutely love Resi 7. I've thought about replaying it, especially because the Chris Redfield DLC was free.
Okay.
So I was like, that would be nice. But Resi 7, I absolutely love. Resi 2
solid.
Scared the hell, like it got me the best jump scare. So like I'm like walking along, and like I'm like they pull you into like because you're like in this police station. You're like, oh, what's happening? And no one's there.
Is 2 in Raccoon City? Like that's
yeah,
you're at the center of the umbrella.
Yeah, you're at the police station, and you're Leon Kennedy showing up for your first day of work.
This one's Leon. I love Leon.
Yeah, this is like baby teen Leon too.
Okay.
So like Leon comes in for his first day of work at the police station, and like everything's gone to shit, and like it's great. Like he walks in. So in the demo, like he walks into the police station, like looking around, and he's like, okay, and he pulls out his gun, and he's like, all right, and like no, everything's lit. You're like, okay, but then you realize like there's nowhere to go, so you have to go into this area that's like a dark hallway. Like you squeeze in there. You know, like you get in there and all of a sudden you're like, oh, fuck. And it's like the music like, oh, as it does. You're walking around and like everything's scaring you.
I'm gonna not fall.
Oh, don't die.
I probably won't. Can I safely sit?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I wouldn't recline.
I'm not gonna put my weight back there, no.
So like you're walking around like, oh, and then you find a dead body and you're like, oh no. You keep going. You go into this room and it's lit, but you hear boom, 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 boom. And you're like, okay. And you hear this guy scream. He's like, help, 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 help. So you open the steel door up just to pull him in. And as you get him in, like, his body's ripped in half. And he just dies, and he hands you a notebook, and you're like, okay. And I was like, well, that was fucked up. But nothing gets you. You're like, okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back into the creepy hallway. And as you walk into the door, a zombie busts through the door, bites your neck. I was like, ah! I screamed the highest pitched scream I have ever screamed. That game scared the living shit out of me. And then for the rest, that's when, like, I don't know how anybody, because the demo is they give you 30 minutes to beat that level. And at the end of that level, you get, like, a trailer.
Okay.
And it's really, really hard. And there's zombies everywhere. They give you, like, no bullets. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That sounds more like Resident Evil 2.
Yeah. So, I mean, but a lot of people say that, like, that's their favorite Resident Evil, but they remade it head to toe. So the graphics are up to date. Everything's...
Oh, I bet it's pretty. I'll bet you.
It's very pretty. Oh, it's man. Very scary, too. And Leon is not, like, I remember, like, you know, like, Leon in Resident Evil 4 is like, I'm Leon, I'm here to kick ass.
And he does.
And this one, he's, like, walking around, he's like, so this is my first day? Like, this is where he's exposed to being a badass. He has to learn. Like, he's like, this is my first day. I was supposed to be here. A little bit of a rough start, guys. A little bit of a rough start. I'm Leon. Hi.
I kind of know, like, the story of all of Resident. Have you seen the movies?
I've watched the movies.
I'm so sorry.
You know what? It's like Fast and the Furious. You get your popcorn, you get your M&Ms, you get your soda, you watch it, you don't expect anything good out of it. They're rebooting those.
Why?
I think it's because they're hoping to make it more Resident Evil, like closer to the storyline. But they're also doing the TV series, so we're going to see how this goes, like parallel to each other.
Because that's been going really well for DC, doing that. We have our TV universe, and then we have our movie universe, and shocker, they both suck.
Hey. The TV universe does some wonderful things. They do.
I can't hardly even.
I'm debating on doing the 7-day free trial to DC TV Universe, which has like the what is that show that I love? Young Justice.
Okay.
They also have the Titans show.
I wanted to check that out.
I'm waiting for Young Justice to end, then I'm going to do it. But what scares me is like it's not a month by month subscription. It is a year.
So you're really hooked in.
$75. So you have to, on day 6, you have to cancel it. At what cost? I don't know. And I'm like, I can't even, like, it gives me anxiety if I forget to cancel it and then I'm charged like $70 some odd. Like, that gives me a lot of anxiety right now. So, Resident Evil's, okay. Metroid news. Metroid Prime 4 has been scrapped.
I'm not surprised.
They came out with an update. They're like, that we didn't like anything they were doing. The studio that was working on it, they're like, we don't like a single thing we were doing, so we shit canned them. We scrapped the entire project, and now they're having retro studios who made the Metroid Prime trilogy come back and start again.
Because that was good.
So it's gonna be like 2 years, maybe 3.
I'm not like dying for another Metroid.
People were. And then they wake up to an announcement about Metroid Prime 4, and they're like, oh, Christmas? And they're like, yeah, it's going to be a while. And people are like, no!
It's going to be a while, if ever at all.
So that was kind of a shame. And then, speaking of, there is evidence out there to suggest that the Metroid Prime trilogy remastered for the Switch is done. They've just been waiting to release it.
They would.
Yeah.
Sitting on it, waiting.
I'm just going to say, Nintendo, you know, it would be really good, like, a lot of goodwill for scrapping Metroid Prime 4 and restarting, which a lot of people are saying, like, we got a lot of respect for them for saying, like, a rushed game is terrible, but a game, like, that has been taken its time on is always
I want
good.
it to be polished.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, like,
but you know, it'd be some goodwill is if you just release the Metroid Prime trilogy on the fucking Switch. Like, if you have it, let it go. Let it go. Just let us have it. Please, we'll give you our money. God damn it. Like,
what are they waiting on? We're not near Christmas.
They were waiting on Metroid Prime 4. They were going to release it as a taster. So, I mean, it is even possible we might have to wait like another year and a half.
Jesus Christ.
But just give us the fucking trilogy already.
That would, like, at least help.
Yeah. James Wan, who directed Aquaman. Aquaman 2 is in pre-production, but James Wan said he will not sign on until he has the perfect script.
Have you seen Aquaman?
Yes.
Is it good? I'm going to describe Jason
yes and
Momoa
no.
in one word, just the way he performs. The word wooden would come up. Kind of wooden.
Wooden.
Wooden. If he's not
I kind of...
a lot.
There's a lot. There's actually a great scene in there where him and Mira have a conversation because Mira's like, I've betrayed everyone. I would, my life sucks. And he goes, well, at least you still have your family. And she's like, no, I don't have my family. I don't have anything. Like I'm not allowed to go back.
All right.
And you see the sympathy in his face. And I was like, that's a nice moment. That's the only level of acting put in that entire movie. The rest of it's I think it's Patrick Wilson who plays Ocean Master. He does it. Like he puts his effort into that.
You're gonna
movie.
have to if you're gonna do that character.
Yeah, he kicks ass. Like he's like, oh, I'm Ocean Master. Like he's great. James Wan, the same guy who directed The Conjuring. Yes, he is the one who directed Aquaman. He did a fantastic job. So the movie aesthetically is perfect. It is when you see.
It's not too dark, is it?
Patrick Wilson. No, not even near.
Oh, because they've had that problem with every other fucking movie.
Well, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a good example of balance, and this movie has a great example of balance. The only thing this movie doesn't have is like any form of growth for the character. He's like they put in the seeds to have him grow, and then they just don't.
Well, he doesn't have like a alternate personality, really.
Well, so his thing is
he's got no Bruce Wayne.
His thing is though, he says, I don't want to be king.
It is. I thought.
He says, I don't feel that I deserve to be king. Oh, I'm not going to work tonight. Great. So he's like, I don't want to be king. I don't feel I deserve to be king. Also, I don't like this place. And so they're like, this is a thing, Yeah. And then Amber Heard, I think is her name, who plays Mira, says repeatedly, you do deserve to be king. You are the best of both worlds. And there's never a point where he's like, all right. There's never a point where he earns his confidence. He straight up says, like, I'm doing this because I have to. Because the Ocean Master, if he doesn't challenge the Ocean Master and win, he is going to kill everyone on the surface, including his father, who is his family. So he's like, I have to. I don't have a choice. But there's no growth there. There's no point where he grows. There's no point.
You would like him to be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm Aquaman. Let's do this thing. And
yeah.
I would say rip off a shirt, but I'm going to guess that he does not wear a shirt the entire goddamn film. Jason Momoa in a shirt, you're just like, why?
I think he wears some armor. He wears some armor, and then he has a shirt that's like buttoned once, maybe. Like when he's in the Sahara, he wears a shirt. Most of the time, he's not wearing a shirt. I think he has like a jacket he wears when he goes out to the bars, does his bar crawling. This is a weird wardrobe.
I watched him in a
review, but he's fine. He does great. The end of the movie is the best. Like the climax. There's premise is I need to be king, so I'm gonna go get the trident of the lost king, and that will the King Atlan. King of Atlantis.
Yeah.
King Atlan. I'm gonna go find his lost trident, and that will and the.
So they've just been rocking no king. Is that what's been going on?
No, they have a king. It's just Atlan was lost, and his brother is in line to be king, but his brother's gonna kill everybody if he becomes king. So he's like, I have to be king. So in the mythology, if they find the lost trident of Atlan, no one will question them. He is the new king.
Okay.
So he goes looking for the lost trident of Atlan. Now you would expect a poorly written story what they'll do is he will have the trident, he'll show up, they're like, he's king. No, what happens is he gets that fucking trident and he shows everybody why the fuck he is king. Like, he shows up on a giant cracking Cthulhu monster holding the trident, commanding an army of death and doom, and just wipes everybody off the fucking map. And he's on top of the head and he just goes, ah! And everyone's like, they look at him and they go, he's got the trident, he's commanding the trench, he's king.
So, does the trident help him command all the fish of the sea?
Well, so what happens is he has the natural ability to talk to fish, but no one else in Atlantis does. That is not an Atlantean thing. That is because he's a descendant of King Atlan, and he himself has picked up those genetics. Okay. He's the only one. And when he touches the trident actually amplifies that ability.
Okay.
So instead of being able to command like one fish in front of him, like, or have a conversation with that fish, now everyone can hear him and do exactly what he tells them to do. All the fish. And there are Cthulhu monsters out there called the Trench, which is where they send people to die, the Atlanteans, that he commands them now. Like, because they're mindless. So he has the trident, he commands them. And he shows up with them, and people are like, fuck that, he's king. So instead of being like, he is king because he has the trident, they add a layer of why him having the trident makes him a king. And that is an example of good writing. Where the relationship doesn't make sense between him and Mira, like, it was really forced. It was just two hot people near each other, they make out. Okay. The rest of the movie is well written, well executed. It looks like a comic book. Ocean Master, the part where he puts on his mask and he yells, "I am the Ocean Master," looks exactly like the Ocean Master. This movie's worth your money. It really is. If I were to say go see it in the theater with popcorn, don't, I would say to go.
How many Justice League members? I love that Justice League came out and we had like 3 Justice League. We had a Superman. We had Superman, Batman,
Superman,
Flash.
Batman, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. So you had the 5. Oh, and Cyborg. Everyone forgets about Cyborg.
Do we count Cyborg?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was in the movie.
Is he getting his own though?
There was a talk about. Yes, they talked about it, but right now everything's kind of on hiatus because Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are like, ugh. But now you have Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot carrying the weight. Okay. Their movies have executed properly. We have Wonder Woman 2 coming out next year, I think.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be set in the 80s. I think it's gonna be fantastic.
I lot of superheroes were built around the idea of, like, especially in the Marvel, around World War II. Like Captain America and Nick Fury are both people who fought in World War II.
Yeah.
And we don't fucking talk about that.
Yeah.
Why does Nick Fury look the way that he does?
Well, Captain Marvel is hopefully going to reveal that. What's interesting about DC in comparison to Marvel is this idea that, like, Marvel hired a bunch of people right out of the gate that knew what they were doing. And they kept that momentum. And they pushed.
They wrote up a plan on where they were going, and we have been slowly making it. Whereas DC doesn't seem to be doing that.
Well, DC was like... DC's kind of figuring it out along the way.
Yeah.
And fine, it's fine. The anal person within me would have preferred a bunch of separate movies, a Justice League movie, a bunch more separate movies, another Justice League movie, build up just like the Marvel Universe. Yeah. Because the Marvel Universe had some dips. I mean, Age of Ultron was not that great of a movie. No, Captain America...
It was important for what was going on with S.H.I.E.L.D., but that's really the only...
Yeah, Captain America 1... wasn't that great. Thor 1 and 2 weren't that great. Ant-Man was okay. A lot of okay movies, but then you have like... So, I realized it last night, actually. I was rewatching a scene, and I rewatched Thor Ragnarok the other day, and if I were to say I have a favorite Marvel movie, it's Thor Ragnarok. 100%.
So I love it when... in Thor Ragnarok, the Rocky dude that's just sitting in the hallway...
Yeah,
he's got a real that's a New Zealand.
It's Korg, yeah.
That's the guy who directed the film.
Yeah. That's Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
He's fantastic and
hilarious. That character was.
And the new thing about him is he might be the new Guardians of the Galaxy director, which R.I.P. James Gunn, future Marvel movies. However, I'm in. Taika Waititi is a natural takeover for that.
We could do a lot with Guardians, and something that happens in Avengers, Infinity War. Star-Lord's been a douchebag the whole time. That's important to know. He is not a great dude.
Someone put a meme out today, actually, that was him. That was Andy Dwyer from Parks and Rec. And it was like the sum up of Endgame. And he comes out and he's like, so, my bad, guys. And I'm like, that's him. That's 100% him. But Thor Ragnarok's my favorite movie, and it's them kind of figuring everything out. Like, for them to make 2 shitty Thor movies in a row and then come back with Ragnarok the way they did.
I think that, it's important to remember, especially when you're doing comic book movies, is let's not take ourselves too serious.
Yeah.
Doing the super serious Batman thing has not been... If they could, put in a little bit of comedy, I think the Batman would help a little bit.
So, So here's the thing, I guess, in comparison, if you think about DC and Marvel, Marvel takes a lot of really smart people and they do really smart things, and then those smart people figure it out along the way, and then then you end up with Infinity War, Endgame, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America 2, Captain America Civil War. You end up with these movies, and it's smart people figuring it along the way. And then you have DC, who just have people who are figuring it out along the way. And so you see these curves, and this is DC kind of going like this right now. But here's Marvel all the way up here. Because it's this idea of exponentiality. Like, it grows knowledge is an exponential growth. It's not, if you add smart people to a situation that gives them the ability to grow and learn, they're going to grow more. If you just add people to a situation that will grow and learn, they're not going to learn and grow as much. So it's this interesting thing. I think, unfortunately, Marvel scooped up all the smart people really quick, but they did fuck up because they dropped James Gunn, who is the talk is he might end up doing Suicide Squad, which I'm like, yes, I'll take it.
Are they continuing that?
Yeah.
They're not. I thought they were just gonna take. Sometimes you take the L. You're like, what? That was a real piece of shit. We're going a different way.
Yeah, they're talking about bringing him on Suicide Squad because he'd be the perfect person to do it.
Are we gonna keep the Joker?
I don't know. They may not mention the Joker's name for another 10 years.
He doesn't need to be in the Suicide Squad. He doesn't need to.
Well, so they could have done what they did in the. Have you seen the animated Suicide Squad movie? Batman. It was like Batman Assault on Arkham.
Maybe, but that's
it was brilliant, and it had the Joker in it, it had Batman in it, but it was a Suicide Squad movie through and through, and it added the flavor it needed to. Joker just showed Joker was just in jail, and he was doing his own fucking thing in the corner, while everyone else was doing their Suicide Squad shit. Batman shows up to stop him. There's this great scene where they leave this ninja character to kill Batman, and they go on to do their own thing, and the ninja character shows back up. And you're like, oh my god, did he kill Batman? But the ninja character doesn't say a single word the entire rest of the movie.
I know what's going on.
He's fucking Batman!
He sure is.
Batman just put on his clothes, was hanging out with him. So they have the Suicide Squad. They're trying to get the little bombs off their neck. And, a trigger happens, and it kills all these people, except for the people who are able to get them off. And then the ninja character's still standing there, and they're like, wait a minute, what? And he was like, I'm Batman! And you're like, oh my god! He's Batman! He just starts, and then you find, at the same time, you see someone in the Batman costume, crawling along, and the Joker goes up to shoot him in the face. He's like, this is my time. And he puts the gun up to his face, and then his head explodes, and the Joker's standing there, really confused, what the fuck? It was brilliant because they were doing their own things on the side and they influenced the story, but they didn't overpopulate the story. There was no reason for the Joker to be in the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
He did not add anything to it.
Especially because he's not when you say the word Suicide Squad, the Joker is not the first fucking person that...
He's more like Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Harley Quinn you think of on Suicide Squad, which is in... They could do with their own Harley Quinn movie if they fucking did it right.
Right? Yeah. Well, they are... So this Birds of Prey thing is going to kind of be that. I think. It's going to be her mainly leading it up and doing a better job than, like... You know, because the Suicide Squad, like, their buffer was Will Smith.
Good, which would... He was Floyd Lawton, right?
Yeah. He was a Deadshot.
Deadshot.
Yeah, Deadshot. He's good. Okay. Last piece of news. Actually, there's a couple pieces of news. One, I just read this because I forgot about it. The Piranha Plant is now available for Super Smash Brothers. Like, they just released him as your DLC, so you can play with him if you want.
Give us Waluigi.
Give us Waluigi. I don't know. We'll see. And then Assassin's Creed, there's been some evidence found that they may possibly coming out with Assassin's Creed on the Switch. Which, I'm saying this again, about fucking time.
I think that the Nintendo needs to realize that they could be doing... And this has been true with their last several consoles. They could be doing so much more. They have the opportunity to be doing a lot, and they're not.
I mean, Borderlands on the Switch, Assassin's Creed, like, I was thinking the Ezio trilogy.
Is Borderlands on the Switch?
No.
Put the Handsome Collection on there.
I know, right?
Good to go.
Money right off the bat. And what all they have to do, here's the one thing that I think would be the coolest, is if they made it to where you could wirelessly connect your Switches, so you could have like 4 to 5 people sitting down with their own Switches playing Borderlands together.
If Nate were here, there'd be screaming noises.
We've talked about it, and we did scream. I screamed. I threw things because I was so mad.
It could be. It could be. There's no reason that it can't be, and we just don't.
I know. And I don't know, for money purposes or whatever, but like the Ezio collection I thought would have been a great release. They're talking about the Liberty collection, which would be Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed Liberty, and then Assassin's Creed, I think, Black Flag.
Okay.
Which Black Flag, if that ends up on the Switch, I'm dumping all of my money into it, because that game, like, just the ability to sail around and listen to sea shanties all day.
I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah, that's all I need. I don't care about the rest of it. Assassin's Creed 3 can fuck off. I liked it when I played it, but then I played Black Flag and I'm like, I got nothing else to do. But the Ezio collection would be perfect for the Switch. It's not a graphically demanding thing. It would fit on a cartridge just fine, and it would be a great way for people to relive their nostalgia and play Assassin's Creed on the go.
And if you do that and it goes well, it opens the door.
Yeah.
For the rest of the series.
So that's my own personal opinion. And then, like I said, like Borderlands, but like there are games that I've been touting for forever. Like they just put Goat Simulator on the Switch.
Goat Simulators on the Switch?
Yeah, which if you haven't played the Goat Simulators, go play the Goat Simulators. They're cheap when they're on sale, and they're fun.
They're cheap, and it's good for like if you need to entertain, like you have like an awkward amount of time on your hands.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to actually play a game where I'm going to get sucked in. But
it's a perfect Switch port. Like, it should have been the first thing they did. It should have been the first thing they did. I had Payday on there. Payday got put on the Switch pretty fast. But
it's
like
kind of a GTA clone. And
Payday?
No, Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator is like a clone of a lot of things. It's really weird. Yeah. It's really weird, everything that it simulates. But because now they're in space. They have a Goat Simulator in space. They have a Goat MMO. So it's like playing WoW with Goat Simulator, but you don't have other people, but there are like NPCs in the game.
Okay, so it's like a simulated MMO.
Yeah. And then and those were the first ones, and then they have Goat Simulator in space, and then they have a Payday Goat Simulator as well.
Okay.
So the game's dumb, but it's fun. It's perfect. Octodad, they finally put that on a while ago. I was like, why is that not on the Switch? Octodad is a perfect game, especially with the Joy-Cons.
Right.
It's so they don't spend their money like the Arkham collection. Why is that not on the Switch? Why don't we have the Batman Arkham games on the Switch?
And that would be that would fit just fine.
I'd love to be sitting on the subway in my Batman hoodie with my hood up, going, "I'm Batman," with a Switch. What the subway that totally exists in Iowa.
Yeah.
But it's a genius idea, and they're not doing it, which I'm like, why aren't you doing it?
Right? I'm not fucking a CEO. I don't have any fancy degrees, but I can tell you a couple of ideas that will work. I promise.
Yeah, right now, Red Dead Redemption 2 is out. I understand that not being on the Switch because that is a massive game.
Yeah.
But Grand Theft Auto 5 should be on the Switch right now.
It's a family console.
I don't care.
You can't put that.
It's a family console. Have you seen some of the shit they've got on there?
Well, do they have is there a lot of
I mean, you got Doom on the Switch.
Okay.
You have Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch.
That's true.
There's a lot of
you could probably fit GTA. I think squeezes in fine.
And if you really want to make it bump past the bad rating, how about this? How about we just get rid of this? We censor the strip clubs. Maybe we put bikinis on the boobies or whatever. And good to go.
For those of us playing GTA, who's going to the strip clubs anymore? If you play GTA 5 online, it's a fucking war zone. There's
other shit to do.
You get on and you immediately get hit in the face with a nuke or like a bazooka, and you're like, I have been on this server for 8 seconds.
You know what my dream is? If Xbox takes over the Switch idea, here's what would be cool. Xbox One games. So next gen console, they come out with a next gen. There's an Xbox 125 or whatever.
Is that what they're calling it?
But then I don't know what they're gonna call it. But they come out with the next gen console. But then they come out with an Xbox One that is essentially a Switch with Xbox handles.
They've never really done handheld, I don't think, have they?
No, they don't. They refuse to get in the game because Nintendo has the market. But right now,
is the Vita alive anymore, or is that dead?
So they release games here and there. PlayStation does not support it other than putting like mobile ports on there and shit, or indie ports. But they're not coming out with anything for it themselves.
Did it just not sell well enough? There's no
yeah, the marketing was awful.
I don't know a single person.
They said the marketing was terrible. I bought one because I was like, Borderlands. They have Borderlands 2 on it.
Okay,
They have Borderlands 2 on the Vita, and we don't have it on the Switch. What is going on? Anyways, we're done yelling about that.
The Vita is like a fancy I had a buddy who had a PSP back.
It's like a PS3.
But it's portable.
Yeah, but it's portable. And it is, if you like JRPGs, and if you like indies, JRPG? It's like a Japanese RPG, like role-playing game.
Okay, so you talking like Final Fantasy?
Final
I've played
Fantasies.
some Final Fantasy.
The Tales series, the Tales of Vesperia and whatnot. That just came to the Switch. But like JRPGs, there are thousands of them.
Are there?
On the Vita. And for a long time, if you had PlayStation Plus, they were throwing games on the Vita with the PlayStation Plus. Like, you get 2 free games a month at least, and they were actually pretty good games for a long time.
Really trying to promote the sale of it. You'll see PlayStation 4 commercials, but you won't see PlayStation Vita.
They tried, and then they gave up. They also had a thing for a while, too, where you could play your PS, like if you were within proximity or if you're on Wi-Fi. Like, say you had a game in your PS4 console, certain games you could play like wirelessly from your Vita. It would just
How did this not take off?
Terrible marketing, poor execution.
See, I like Sony, but sometimes
it
just doesn't quite make it 100% of the way.
So I want to see Xbox do like you take the Xbox controller and you onto a screen and you pop it out, and it would be like Xbox One games back.
Are they still doing stuff?
And then on top of that, they do the Game Pass. Can you imagine the Game Pass with the Switch? Like, ooh, that's tasty. That's tasty. Gears of War on the couch. Like,
is Gears of War on the Xbox?
It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
I thought that was all of those Sony things.
No, Gears of War is Xbox exclusive.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like the other way.
No. So like Xbox has Gears of War and they have Halo. And they have a few little things here and there. Next month they're coming out with Crackdown 3. That's their exclusive. Crackdown 3. that they've delayed like several thousand times. But no, the Game Pass is actually brilliant because any new Xbox exclusive game that comes out goes to the Game Pass.
All right.
So $10 a month, you got it.
That's
Plus, they have a whole bunch of games. Like, they have the Tomb Raiders. They have Doom.
A lot of Xbox?
The only thing I have played on my Xbox in the past, like, couple months right now has been Red Dead 2. My life has been dedicated to Red Dead 2.
You've got Red Dead 2 on the Xbox.
I do.
It's on the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's on PS4 and Xbox One. It is not on PC yet.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that would be very, very doable?
They're taking their time. They could, for some reason, they could never get Red Dead Redemption 1 on PC. Like, that is not on PC at all.
Really?
And they never did it. And they still haven't. And all the PC players are sitting here waiting for Red Dead 2.
Because they're like, they believe that they're the PC super race.
Yeah. And then they can't get Red Dead 2, which is, I'm not kidding, is a masterpiece.
What, was it Game of the Year?
No. God of War won Game of the Year. Red Dead swept up a bunch of other awards.
Boy, man?
No, I never played. I don't have a PS4. I was stupid and I bought an Xbox One, but that was its own story.
I have gone PlayStation. I almost with Nate, and I'm like, Nate, you can't argue the PlayStation 2 was better than the Xbox. The PlayStation 3 was better than the 360.
Okay.
And the 4 was better than the 1.
So you have arguments to go back for. So PS2 versus Xbox, okay? Basically, it depends on your taste in exclusives. Because
there was a lot of exclusives going on. I've played Halo about 8 times in my time.
That's when Xbox held up their own.
Yeah.
Xbox 360, same thing, exclusives. However, Xbox 360 made a market in being cheaper than the PS3.
If Nate were here, he'd be fighting for the 360.
PS3 came out swinging when they were like, so
they did,
because PS2. Here's the pattern, right? So what happens is a console will sell better than the other console. So then the next time they come out, they're like, we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want, and people will buy it and they will suck it.
Okay.
And then the other console goes, nah, no, we're going to be consumer friendly. So then they'll sell better. So PS2 sells amazing. PS3 comes out, $800 console.
I remember being really expensive.
$800 console. People were like, fuck you. So then Xbox 360 comes out and was like, cheap. We're cheap. We're also incredibly versatile. The versatility of the Xbox 360 was mind-blowing. How they handled hard drives on its own was so convenient. I was playing when I worked at Gamers, right? So you can just slide a hard drive out of an Xbox 360 and slide on a different one.
No shit.
Yeah, so you can go from like a 20 gig hard drive to a 500 gig.
Okay, but there's
as long as you shelled out the cheddar.
So I don't know a lot about 360s, but I do know that there's like the Elite version,
There are like 3 or 4 different versions. After the original version, there was the Slim. From the Slim up, hard drives are all the same. The original has a weird fucking flat hard drive.
All right.
But nobody buys those because they crap out so easily. The Slim version, the hard drive would just pop out, pop it. You had a little thing you would pop, and then you just it back in. It was so convenient.
So, you could say you're going to your buddy's house and he had a 360. You could pop out your hard drive, go over to your buddy's house, pop it into his, and play it. Or would that not work?
I don't know. It might. I don't think there would be a formatting issue if it was the same 360. I think you could do that.
All right.
It was quite brilliant.
That's smart.
So they come out with versatility. They come out with a good slew of games. So Xbox 360 dominates in sales, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Xbox One, PS4. Xbox One comes out. They are the cockiest fucks I've ever seen. They were like, you're gonna have the Kinect, and it's gonna be there whether you like it or not. It's gonna be on all the time. We're gonna come out with, this is the weirdest thing. We're gonna come out with online only gaming, and you're gonna have to just fucking deal with it. And people were like, no. And PS4 goes, oh, and then they said, this is what Xbox One said, and then you're not going to be able to share games.
Oh.
That game you buy will be yours forever, whether it's hard copy or not.
Oh.
Literally, PS4 made a commercial where they go, this is how easy it is to share a PS4 game. Hey, Greg, you want to borrow my game? Yeah, man. Bing, bing, done. Just boom, right in the nuts. So PS4 is on top right now. Xbox One is, and they're struggling.
They haven't done anything in a while.
Their innovation, though, and this is the idea of competition. Competition breeds innovation. Their innovation
That's why it's important that there's always been Xbox and PlayStation. If it was PlayStation and Nintendo, I don't think we would be having the same conversation.
No, well, so that's its own thing. So you have these two big consoles who are just over here fighting, and Nintendo's over here fucking tinkering with cardboard, making the coolest shit in the world. Just like, here you go. But then when you ask them, like, can we get ports? They're like,
no.
Here's one. 5 years later, here's another. And you're like, what the fuck, man? So anyways, they breed this competition. So then Xbox, instead of having these amazing exclusives, they still have they dominate backwards compatibility, because that is the one stance that PS4 made, was like, no, we are not going to be backwards compatible.
Really?
Yeah.
Was the PlayStation 3 backwards compatible at all?
Yeah. Well, the first PlayStation 3 was backwards compatible completely, but that was why it was $800.
Wait, could it play all the way to PlayStation 1?
Yeah, you could play
No
PlayStation
shit.
1 to 3.
Can you
the
find
first
those
ones
anymore?
Yeah, they're like 80. Look for 60 gigs, and if you get a 60 gig Fat Boy PS3, it is completely backwards compatible.
No shit.
Yes, that I used to own one, and then I sold it for that fucking thing. But that was because I was trying to get on a TV show, and I did for a while. It just didn't work out. Anyways,
I'm sure it still works fine. Can you play Blu-rays through a one?
You have to download an app or something, but you can play Blu-rays on that.
You could play DVDs on the 360, right? Could you play Blu-rays on the 360?
You can't play Blu-rays on the 360. The 360 stance back in the day was there was two types back in the day. There was Blu-ray, but there was also like it was just something called like HD or something like that, just HD.
Okay.
And here's the thing. Okay, so back in the day when it was beta, beta disc. No, what is it? Betamax. Betamax versus VHS. Do you know why Betamax lost?
I don't.
Because the porn industry backed VHS.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so essentially that's what decides who's going to win or lose those battles. So that's that so but Xbox 360 backed the HD. And they lost. So yeah, that sucks. But no, they get this. So they get Game Pass though, and then they get like, have you seen their market on controllers? It's insane. They have regular controllers that you can customize any which way you want. But the other thing is, have you seen these handicap controllers?
What?
They just came out with these handicap controllers. They're controllers specifically built for people who are handicapped and cannot play.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know this existed.
There's a whole funny, it's actually kind of a funny commercial. This kid's like running through the streets and he goes, he's going to do it! He's going to do it! And all the kids are like, what the fuck?
And it's a kid in a wheelchair.
And it's a kid in a wheelchair. He's playing on one of those controllers.
Okay, that's neat.
That they specifically, so they build this versatile, and then they make the Xbox One X for people who want the best type of gaming. But now they're even talking about coming out with a console that is literally no discs, just an Xbox 360 that you can download games onto. Their versatility has just...
A One or a 360?
An Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
An Xbox One that will have no disc drive. It will just be a console that can download.
You've got like a bunch of discs. If you have a bunch of discs, is there a way to get the digital copy of that? No. You're just fucking dumb.
You're just fucking dumb.
That's the way that is.
But it's like, it's for people who are just playing Game Pass. They were even talking about for a while a subscription service where you pay like $35, and I'm pretty sure this is still happening. I don't know where or when or how, but $35 a month. You get Xbox Gold, Xbox Game Pass, and you are paying for an Xbox One X.
Okay.
Like a cell phone plan.
All right.
So that's genius.
That's smart. That is.
And they're not taking away your option to just straight out buy something, but they're giving you this, like, their versatility has grown out of competition.
Can you like game share on the Xbox? Like, I know if you have like two PlayStations and you have like a digital game on one, you can put it on the other.
I think so, yeah.
He said that would be, especially if you don't have a disc drive. You and your girlfriend both got one of these discless boys.
Right.
One I've got.
But it's going to be cheaper too. So it's this idea like their competition is bred their own thing, and because they're over here fighting and still dominating the marketplace, Nintendo's like, okay, to survive, we have to do some really weird shit.
They got to go messing with cardboard.
And they're over here fucking with cardboard, and they make the Switch, and they're like, ta-da! And people are like, oh my god! Like, it came out with the Wii U, and they're like, ta-da! And people are like, and they're like, okay, give me like 2 more years. And then they're like, Switch! And everyone's like, oh my god!
If the Wii U was what the Switch was, obviously it would have been just fucking incredible. But it was. I mean, they were almost there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was, but it wasn't. They were almost there. They were just touching that glass ceiling just a little bit, and then they gave up.
They had a good idea what they were going with. It just that touch screen is not.
There was like the touch screen issues.
It's got like the spring back when they had springs and touch.
Yeah. Screens. And they wanted to do a thing where or what they did was they made it to where like you could like, so you'd see your screen, but there'd be like a mini menu on this screen. Yeah. And it just wasn't intuitive to what people wanted to do. It was the DS, but a larger version.
When I was living with Nate and Sean's girlfriend. His girlfriend bought the Wii U, and she was playing through Twilight Princess. I think it was on.
Yeah.
Was that the Zelda game that was on that one?
It had the amiibo. Well, they had
right?
So they have an HD Twilight Princess and an HD Wind Waker that was ported over to the Wii U.
Was Twilight Princess on? Originally on the. I thought it just came out.
No,
on the Wii U.
Skyward Sword came out on the Wii U.
Okay.
I think no, I'm wrong.
Which one had you turned into a dog? I think that was Twilight Princess.
That's Twilight Princess. They did come out with an HD port for it. And they did the menu stuff. This is another thing. Nintendo. Okay? Give me the fucking Zelda games on my Switch. I know it takes work because they did the HD remasters.
To play Ocarina, though.
But if they could just fix the menu thing, because that's the problem with so they did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask on the 3DS. So now you have 2 screens. So they have to fix that, to make it work with the Switch. Switch is 1 screen. You just have to deal with that. Same thing with when they did Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for the Wii U. 2 screens. Again, they have to fix that. But if you could just fix that, if you could just give me my HD ports of all those games.
Oh man, I'd shut up. I wouldn't even be mad at Switch anymore.
I know, right? Like, I wouldn't care. Like, I really wouldn't care about anything else. They could have all the problems they want with every other game, but like, if you give me Zelda
is your shit.
Yeah.
Give me your shit.
I want this.
Does the map of Hyrule, has it always been the same?
No, not really. It changes.
I was gonna say, I want to say I've played enough Twilight Princess. This is over here, I think now.
Yeah. But yeah, I want games. I want the games on the Switch. This is my issue with Nintendo, and they don't have enough competition though. Like, they're not competing with PS4 or Xbox One.
Yeah, there's nobody that's making anything like them.
Yeah, they don't really care.
Is there though? There's always been like sometimes I'll find. My little brother downloaded an emulator onto my laptop that emulates hundreds of consoles.
Yeah.
A lot of them I'm like, what in the flying hell is this thing? Like the Geo, you put it on
Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are hard. Do the. Is this giving anybody a headache thing? Everybody that plays it does.
I was like impressed when I found because like working at the video game store, I found some weird shit. Have you ever heard of the Atari Jaguar?
No, I have not.
There's an Atari Jaguar, and it was Atari's like sort of like their competition for the N64 and for
really they didn't know they even
for the Dreamcast. It's basically Dreamcast level.
Really?
There are some Dreamcast games on there. There's a Predator game on there. This thing shows up at the game store, and I'm like, the fuck is this thing? And they're like, it's an Atari Jaguar. And I'm like, how did something called the Jaguar not become the most successful
I said the same thing about the. I was always eyeballing the Sega Saturn that you guys had.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I don't know that you guys have a single fucking game for that thing, but I want it because it's weird.
We could have always gotten it. Like, games were easy for us to get.
Really?
Well, because there was like, when we first opened, there was like 13 stores.
Okay.
They were spread between Iowa and Omaha. Iowa and then Nebraska, Omaha specifically.
The rest of Nebraska can shove it, but I've always said Omaha is like diet Iowa. We would annex. If we had to get rid of Nebraska, we would annex Omaha and the rest could become...
We'd burn it all with their fields of corn. Like, we got our own corn.
We've always wanted a giant lake the size of a state in the middle of our nation.
Yeah. So they owned all those, and then they would like have this big old collection of games. So all we had to do was call and say, "Hey, can you send us this game?" They'd be like, "It's on its way." You know.
How deep was the pool for the Saturn though? Like, it didn't. It
I don't
really
know.
didn't do very well. It really didn't.
There wasn't a whole lot of games for it, but I mean, there were games for it.
I saw it. You guys had it, and I was like, "What in the holy hell is that?"
There's a bunch of stuff that I really, really, really wanted for that I wanted at Gamers. And now that it's gone, my lethargy for buying games has increased again.
All of the it was David, right, that owned it?
He owned one store. He owned the Grinnell store.
So all the you guys had quite a bit of just
he had
inventory.
He sold a lot of it. I don't know. I know some of it he just threw away, like the guitars. All the guitars, he was like, I can't. He's like, I can't sell that. But he was selling a lot of it. But yeah, he went back to insurance, selling insurance in Des Moines. And then his wife works in Des Moines as well. They had a baby, so they're like, okay, we got to kind
of be serious here.
Yeah, we got to be adults. Because he still wasn't making money, and it was 3 years down the road, which, back then I was like, oh no, you can stick it out. But every Gamers, all of the entire company is closed now.
Really?
Yeah.
How much longer did they last after he...
About a year, probably. I looked it up because I was going to... They used to be a GoGamers.com you could go to, and they would have all their eBay listings. Because I was like, they have cheaper games than everyone else. But the retro value has dropped considerably. Considerably.
If you want to find an old retro game, there's usually
yeah,
people in town who are selling, and you can buy one from some dude for $10.
Well, when I was at Gamers, Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64
I know that game.
was $120.
No shit. Is it that hard to get your hands on?
It's probably $50 now to buy it off of eBay.
Really?
Yeah, because I saw someone selling Conker's Bad Fur Day for really cheap, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
That was animated, but really inappropriate.
Oh yeah, well, and they redid it for so Xbox One has the Rare collection, and it has Conker's Bad Fur Day on there, but it has the shitty Xbox version, so nobody likes it.
All right,
they're like, "Fuck that," but it has the Banjo-Kazooies, so
all right,
people like Banjo-Kazooies.
Banjo-Kazooies,
yeah, that's all right. They got Battletoads. There's a new Battletoads game coming out.
More Battletoads.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out. There's a lot of good games coming out this year that I want to play, but right now I'm just I'm pushing Red Dead as hard as I can so I can get done.
How deep? How many hours are you into Red Dead?
I literally have no idea, but I've just been playing it. So I bought it. My birthday was in October, and it came out around that time, and I've been playing it heavily since.
How close to finished are you? You've got to be getting there.
So there's 6 chapters and I think 1 or 2 epilogues, and I'm in chapter 6.
All right, so you're getting there.
Okay, so to give you a realistic expectation, without doing any side missions, just playing the story, that's it. And when you ride your horse, you ride from point A to point B as fast as you can. The hour gameplay is 60 hours.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's how long is Skyrim if you don't do side quests?
I have no idea.
I actually have never beaten. I've never.
Neither have I, and I was thinking about doing that next beating. So I have a bunch of games. So Dishonored 2 I've never beaten. I bought these 2 games, Witcher and Assassin's Creed Origins, but I haven't started them. I'm gonna save those.
Assassin's Creed Origins, I've not heard anything about, but with The Witcher, I've heard positive.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of positive about The Witcher. So I'm not going to touch those for a little while. And then...
is there a Doctor Who game?
Yeah, this is my buddy's PS3 game he gave me. Actually, it's a puzzle game, I guess. But he loves this game. He loaned it to me, and I need to give it back to him.
I don't know anybody with a PlayStation 3.
I want to buy another one because I have a bunch of PS3 games I need to download, like the entire Mass Effect trilogy. I've never played them, but again, I've got a lot of stuff to play. Like I need to finish GTA 5. I need to finish South Park: Stick of Truth.
Have you played it a little?
Stick of Truth? Oh yeah, I've been playing quite into it. I finally beat Man Bear Pig. Or no, Al Gore. Man Bear Pig was easy. Al Gore was very hard to beat. Like he was very hard to beat.
All right.
You haven't beat Al Gore. But yeah, I have this list of games I need to finish, and then I want to move on to new stuff. Doom, I haven't finished Doom. Skyrim, I haven't finished.
There's so much to do in Skyrim, though.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I was thinking about just sitting down and finally just beating the story, because I could call it good after that.
What do you like to do in Skyrim? Are you like a... I've been playing with Nate, and we use the bow almost exclusively.
Yeah. Yeah, the bow's amazing. So I do one-handed sneak. The Thieves Guild missions are awesome. I haven't beat the Assassins missions yet. I need to do that.
We just started Thieves Guild last night.
Yeah, Thieves Guild's really cool.
We got an Argonian.
Except for, so the game kind of set me up. The lady that runs with me, she lives in Whiterun. She is one of the first people you're supposed to steal from. And I stole from her and didn't realize that it was her stuff. And she came at me like a fucking psycho. We're in her house and I'm like walking around. Like I even picked the lock to her house. She didn't say a word. And I'm like walking around. I'm like, oh, here's the thing I gotta steal. And I take it and she goes, that's it! And she comes at me. I'm like, oh no! Because the way you become partners with her, or the way that you get her to follow you, is you have to beat her in a fist fight in a bar.
All right.
Yeah. She's my favorite because she's quiet.
That's important.
You ever get the Grimsever lady?
I don't think so.
She's in, is it Rivendell? No. What is it? Riften. She's in Riften. Rivendell's fucking Lord of the Rings. She's in Riften, and she's like, never let her follow you. All she will talk about is that fucking sword, and she'll say the same 4 lines over and over and over again.
We ran into that bitch last night.
She keeps talking. All she does is talk. And it's the same humored tone she uses, and she never changes her tone. She's like, I pulled out Grimsever one time, and he almost browned his pants. And then she just says it 100 more times, and you're like, bitch, shut up, I'm looting.
We were, me and Nate were playing last night, and I don't know if you know this, but you can actually beat Skyrim by only making arrows. It's all you have to do.
That makes sense. I can understand.
If you make arrows for 18 straight hours here in the real world, you can just like level all the way up and you're gonna be doing the smithing. And,
yeah.
So you get all the way up in that, and then obviously you can do the legendary thing where you make it go back down to 1, and then you can make all of it, and then increase your tree, and then just keep doing that. Just making arrows.
Huh.
And then you can go out into the world, and you're God, because all of your stats are super high. Because you're like
and you're an arrow Jesus.
Yeah, all your shots are all headshots. You're just a magic man.
You shoot a dragon in the tail, and it just all of a sudden it just goes. The dragon's like I need to sit down and beat it, but I get caught up. So I actually have 2 campaigns going. Okay. I have one on my PC and one on my Xbox. My Xbox I played as a Khajiit. Here's the thing. I split into 2 different directions, and so now to complete one of them, I have to do the work that I've already done on the other. So as the Khajiit, I have mastered my armor. I have become a master at everything. I'm awesome. I'm almost done with the story. However, I have to still go through the Dragonborn DLC.
Fuck.
But on the PC, I don't have everything mastered, but I've done the Dragonborn DLC.
Is it easier on the PC or on the console?
You both use the same controller. It's all fine.
All right.
It all looks good. As if you have a nice enough PC, it's gonna look great.
Okay.
So I just fuck around. But
you can port Skyrim on anything. If you wanted to play Skyrim on a refrigerator, if you were patient enough.
Yeah. And I have the Nord build in that one on my PC.
You went with a Nord?
Yeah, I named him Ollie McClish.
I love that, but I don't know.
Well, I wanted him to look like Arrow at that time, because that was when Arrow came out, was when I started playing that one.
So he was wearing like the hood.
Yeah, I had I put him on a hood and like the war paint, and I named him Ollie. And then McClish is a guy that walked into Gamers one time, and if you've not heard the legend of McClish, I will tell you, he's fucking amazing. Yeah, so I named him Ollie McClish. Okay, McClish, right? So working at Gamers, this very skinny, long blonde-haired man walks in wearing a tank top, camo shorts.
Ooh.
Okay, his wife, she's a very large woman.
Okay, all right.
She doesn't look happy. She just looks like she exists and doesn't want to, but she does it because you have to exist. I don't think the thought of ending it ever came to her mind. She just, she's like a very ogreish woman. That's what I will say.
She's suffering through life.
She may be beautiful on the inside. I don't know this. I don't get to know her, but all I got to know of her was her outside, and it was very she was like an orc chieftain of a woman. So she's like, and it's very large, round, and then the two of them had a child who was like 2 years old, and it was the fucking cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. She's this little chubby, 2-year-old with perfect blonde curls, and she was like, and she was hyper as fuck, but she was so cute that when someone else, because parents don't tolerate their kids' bullshit. They have to spend all the time. Their cuteness has worn off.
As soon as I start piping up, you're like, you're gonna find out how hard I can hit, little one.
Yeah, but you meet someone else's kid that's so cute, you're like, you could do anything you want, kid.
If you bit me in the face, I'd apologize to you.
I would hug you and squeeze you to death. Anyways, this little girl's walking around, and his name's Nathaniel McClish. Nathaniel McClish.
I like that last name.
And he's like the king of rednecks. And he walks in, he's like, "How you doing? I'm Nathaniel McClish." You're like, "Hey, sir."
Hello.
He's like, "This is my beautiful wife. This is my daughter." And we're like, "Great." He's like, "I'm looking for something to play." And I'm like, "Well, what do you got?" And he's like, "I got this." And I'm like, "All right, well, the section's over there." "All right, I'm going to check it out." And so his little kid's running around, and what she does is she keeps pulling games off the shelf and just fucking... And he gets up in her face, and he goes, "You put that back on the shelf now." And she's just like, yeah, just waving it around.
Like a kid would.
And he gets up into her face and he goes, "I'm going to tell you no until you put it away." Kid's still waving the fucking thing in his face, and he just goes, "No, no, 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 no." I'm not kidding. Nose to nose with this child. She is not phased for 1 second, waving this thing around. He's in her face going, "No, no, 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 no."
That's not parent. There should be a loud slapping noise at some point.
I shit you not. And then she's like, and she's throwing games and grabbing more and throwing them. And then he just gets up, he grabs the games and puts them away. But this guy is still we consider him the king of rednecks. He was.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched Black Beauty? This is a weird question, but there's a movie. For those of you who don't know, there's a movie called Black Beauty.
I don't know Black
Beauty. In the middle of this movie, in the 1950s version, there is a horse race to become the king of hobos. And Black Beauty is used to win that horse race to become the king of hobos. I think Black Beauty also helped Nathaniel McClish become the king of all rednecks in a horse race. I don't know.
So, did that movie have anything to do with Hobo with a Shotgun? Because it sounds related. Have you seen Hobo?
I haven't, actually.
Really?
It's on my list. That and Rubber.
I want to say, Grindhouse is who makes, it's like a Grindhouse movie, The Hobo with a Shotgun.
Probably.
They're staged, well, they're not staged, they're real life. Hobo fighting is what's going, that's what Hobo with a Shotgun is about.
It's, yeah, the legend of McClish, Christopher Goodrich. Yes. Nathaniel McClish was one of my favorite people to ever show up at Gamers. I have a list of customers that every time they'd show up, they'd put a smile on my face. Nate included, but not because he was weird or anything, but because he would always, well, first of all, he showed up high as fuck. I never even really paid attention to that, but he was always just happy to see me, and I'd be happy to see him. It was,
yeah.
you know, I like that. I like that with people. But he would show up and be super excited. But McClish was on my list of like the best of all time customers. There were people who also, my stomach would drop when they would show up. There was this guy, his name was Virgil. He was very nice. But I did not understand a fucking word that came out of that man's mouth. He was always like, You ever have someone mumble a joke at you, laugh at it themselves, and then look at you, waiting for you to, like, get it? Like, I'm sure that joke was hilarious, but I have no idea what you said.
I have constantly at the McDonald's drive-thru window, people pull up and I open up the window and I'm like, right now I open up the window and you don't hear me say it, but I say every time, holy shit, it's cold. And then I'm like, hello. And then every customer says the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, to whatever that is.
Yep. Nice.
Every customer says the same thing, and it's that noise with that cadence. Just
my response to anytime someone makes that joke, like when they do the I go, ha, and then I'll walk away. like you say, there's like, I'm going to leave now.
I'm going that way.
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
going that way. Then I do. Oh man, but yeah, wow, we had quite a few random topics we discussed today.
I don't know that we talked about a lot of nerdy stuff.
We did. We went into in depth on the comparison of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I'm
gonna stand by my PlayStation though.
You should though. PlayStation has some really good exclusives right now. They have Spider-Man.
That's got to be like a fairly fatal blow that Spider-Man is not on it, because the Xbox could run it. I would assume.
Yeah, well, and Insomniac made an exclusive for them when they first started, and that was I can't remember what it was. It was like Tony Hawk with zombies.
What?
I can't remember the name of the game, but they made a game for them, and it was an exclusive. Sunset Overdrive.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah, that's Insomniac, and then they made Spider-Man for PS4. But PS4 said, "Do whatever you want. They said, we want a Marvel game. Pick any character. Do what you want." They're like, Spider-Man. They're like, okay. You write the stories. You're in charge. They're like, okay. And they did it, and it's amazing.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah, and I want it. It's that and Last of Us 2 are the two main reasons why I want a PS4.
Last of Us 2's out?
Not yet, but when it does, I want a PS4. Like, I want one. Last of Us 1 was amazing. Drake, you done that? Me and I was asking for a thing and never got it when I came to McDonald's.
I always do that. I do that to everybody. Everybody's like, and I'm like, you got it, man.
You gotta quit mumbling through your fucking window, Chris. No, we're kidding. Or are we? Anyways. Yeah, no, we talked about some shit though. We got in depth. We talked about X-Men, a little new Mutants. Which we still don't know what it is, but
I learned some stuff today. I didn't know what was coming out.
Talked a little gamers. That was fun. But yeah, I think we should wind down. I gotta still put this up. I gotta do some work. But however, the great news is I don't have to work tonight. So
you're lucky. I could still for the next 2 minutes call in and not get in any trouble.
Well, what I was thinking about doing was Verve. Verve is a thing. They have Bravest Warriors on there, and they have like Dragon Ball Super and whatnot. And they have a free trial, and I was thinking about signing up for that free trial.
Okay, I know Verve.
To binge Bravest Warriors.
You like Bravest Warriors?
I love Bravest Warriors.
Me and Nate like to occasionally shriek gas-powered stick to each other. Especially if we're playing Skyrim, and if you get... We love like Nate, the way that he plays. We don't even have magic and bow, or we're gonna fucking die.
Yep.
But occasionally you need to like finish off somebody with a finishing move, and then we have the Hammer of Justice. The Hammer of Justice is non-sexist. It also is non-racist. We'll kill anybody.
You can get perks that'll make it to where, like, if you're a man or you're a woman, you can do more damage to the opposite gender.
Really?
I don't know if it's that one, or I know Fallout has it, but
I need to get 76 is out.
They call them like seduction perks, so it's interesting.
Have you played 76 at all?
No,
is it bad? I've
heard terrible things,
so I would imagine not good.
So here's the thing: if you like it, you like it. But it is Fallout. It is not Fallout. Like, if you like Fallout, you're not gonna get what you want out of it. Like, the creatures are there, but the NPCs, there's no NPCs in the game. Like,
okay,
the only NPCs you have are the people that are around you.
I don't know a lot about Fallout, but it's about building an Iron Man suit, mostly, I believe.
No.
That's the name of the game. Is you're crafting a death suit to spread your death across the land.
No, not at all.
What the hell is Fallout?
You find death suits everywhere, and you can like improve them through crafting. But no, like Fallout is like, so it's post-apocalyptic. Nuclear war. So like a nuclear war has happened, and it is hundreds of years in the future.
I played a little Fallout. I like to go rogue agent on whichever one and kill father son, father boy. You're not supposed to do that.
Are you talking about Fallout 4 right now?
I sure am.
Oh yeah, father boy, father son, father boy.
His name is Father, and he's your son the whole time. I like to kill him. Get that out of the way.
Like to get that out of the way.
What happened to my family? They died. They died bloody.
Sean was a piece of shit. He had to go. He really just wanted to make a safe haven for sins.
You really shouldn't kill your... Just like, all cards on the table, guys, don't do that.
Don't do that in real life.
That's no way to play Fallout 4.
But no, 76 just doesn't have any NPCs. So the world is devoid of one of the best things, because your NPC interactions are the best in that game. Like Fallout 3, there was like a whole thing where I found this feral ghoul living outside all homeless, and I was like, I'm so sorry, buddy. And he's like, I want to live in that tower there. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to those people. I'm gonna get you in that tower. And he's like, thank you, bro. And I go and I talk to them. Some of them are racist, and I'm like, you're gonna stop being racist or I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. And they're like, okay, I'm not racist anymore. So what happens? You get him and his cronies moved in there. I came back. They murdered all the people in that building. They threw all of the humans into a pit with feral ghouls, and the feral ghouls ate them.
I love it. That's beautiful. You did the world a service on that day.
I came back. I was like, what did you do? The guy's like, yeah, they were assholes. We're racist. And I was like, but what?
Anytime that I play any like Skyrim or Fallout, and if I like to make myself a big strong man, and I'm walking around and someone says anything racist, I also like to play as a Khajiit. So they're like, you gonna steal something, cat person? And I was like, I was about to fucking let you live too.
Yeah.
Hot damn, I was gonna leave.
That's all of Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption is like, you're like, I'm gonna go through this town. One guy will look at you and go, fuck you. And you'll be like, that's it. You'll hog tie him. And then you'll take him to the train tracks and throw him on the train tracks. The law's coming after you, so you hog tie the law and you put them on the train tracks. And then your bounty's like $300, and you're like, ah! Like, I was just trying to get a haircut.
Just walk around and someone says anything racist.
Yeah, I had a sheriff, like, he kept looking at me, he goes, last time you were here, you caused all sorts of problems. Don't you do it again. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's fine. And I go back to my thing. I'm like doing my thing. And he's like, hey, you remember last time you were here, you caused all sorts of trouble? You better watch yourself. And I'm like,
that's fair.
That's strike two. That is strike two, okay? Cool your tits. I'm in the middle of something. You go back to your thing. And he's like, hey. And you're like, that's it! You hog tie his ass. 40 guys with guns come out like, hey! And you're like, that's it! Boom, 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 boom. Shoot your way out of town. You put that guy in your horse. You're like, I'm going to fucking do something with him. And then more people see you. They start reporting you. And you're like, I'm going to fucking kill someone now. And then you like throw the guy into a river. And all of a sudden you're like, I was just trying to get a haircut.
I don't respond well to rate. Or that stupid, if we're going back to Skyrim, there's, I don't remember what town it is. You walk in town and a religious zealot starts popping his loud ass trap right away. Like, I'm going to go hide in a bush. And there's going to be a magical arrow that is going to go straight through your dome. And everyone in town is going to be like, who killed that dude? I don't know. I didn't see him. And then I'm going to walk out of town unharmed.
Are you going to loot him at least?
No, I'm going to shoot him and someone's going to see me and we're going to have what's referred to as a riot.
Can you loot people in Skyrim without moral issues? Like, do they mind if you loot dead bodies? Typical Monday.
I think that you can. It's not stealing once they
shoot men, steal raccoon hats. I have this great video that I made of me fighting. So I got Red Dead. I roll into the bar, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the saloon. I'm gonna get a haircut. Can you get a haircut in the saloon? And I bump into this guy, and he goes, hey, we're gonna settle this like men. And I'm like, okay. So we go to have a shootout. The game like, sets up. It's like, down, and I'm like, okay. And then it pauses, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And he just goes, I don't feel so good. And he just falls over. And you're like, that was weird. So I go back to the saloon. I'm gonna get my haircut, and I see this dude at the end of the bar. He's wearing this sick ass raccoon hat, and he's got this giant bear rug outfit. And I'm just up in his face, and this dude looks fucking cool. The game senses proximity. The NPCs.
Okay.
So he gets agitated. He's like, you better get out of my face. I'm like, sorry, bro. And I'm like, I'll go get my haircut. I sit down, I get my haircut. I'm minding my own business. And I get up for my haircut, and he fucking clocks me in the head. He has been waiting for my haircut to end to fight me.
Politely waiting.
I'm like, bear man. So I'm punching him and kicking him, and everyone's like, hey, you need to settle down. I'm like, this bear man won't get out of my face. So I punch him, I knock his hat off. If you get in a fight with anybody, your hat and their hat's gonna come off.
Okay.
So I knock his hat off. I kick him to the ground. I'm like, he's done. And then I go and I'm like, I'm gonna steal his hat. He clocks me in the back of my head. He got up, clocked, and I'm like, he's not down. And I'm like fighting him, and I'm like, go down, bear man, go down. And I finally get him down. I'm like, I'm stealing his hat. This is my trophy. I go to put his hat on. It's got a raccoon face right here, raccoon tail. It's a raccoon hat.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the coolest hat ever. So I go to steal the hat, and he's like, he walks up, or he's down. The sheriff walks up, clocks me in the face with a gun. I'm like, God damn it! And so the hat falls off. I hog-tie the sheriff, put on the hat, right out of town. I'm like, this is my hat now. So I'm wearing the hat. I'm trying to commit to this hat because it is the coolest hat I've ever seen. However, I'm doing these redemption missions for Arthur because, I have high honor in the game.
Okay.
So I'm redeeming myself. And he's like wearing this fucking raccoon hat with a face on it. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I've done terrible things. I'm an outlaw. I'm blah, blah, blah. And you can't take it seriously because the raccoon is staring this person in the face. And that person's taking it real serious, and he's taking it real serious. And I'm like, I have to change. So I put on I have a pirate outfit that I made. I found a pirate hat, and then I made a whole pirate outfit for him. Okay. And I ride around in my pirate outfit. So I put on my pirate outfit, and it's bearable. You can see him trying to be a badass, the pirate outfit. You just can't with that raccoon hat. There's a whole video I made on the thing. I think that's coming out. If you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, I put out videos there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the podcast here as well. Okay. I'm going to put out videos. But Nuggy Meal here, who's watching us, she's been watching me all the time. She's the clip master. She's made the clips.
All right.
I love Nuggy Meal for that. So she's made a bunch of clips. I had my wife, I named a horse after my wife.
That's nice of you.
Found out that the horse was a boy.
Oh, no.
Was riding the horse one day, fell off a cliff. I hit the ground, horse hits me in the face. I die. And then all I say is, nothing like dying to a wife horse in the face.
Goddamn white horse.
Yeah, goddamn wife horse. So, yeah. So, I think we'll end it here, guys, if you want. So, Monday, we've got an interview with Bagel Rabbit coming up. That's going to be later at night. I'll be streaming the rest of the week, so tomorrow morning I'll do Don't Starve. Tomorrow afternoon I'll play some more Red Dead Redemption. Friday up until about noon I'll be playing Red Dead Redemption. I start around 9. Of course, the weekend's going to be real quiet, but follow us on our social media, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. No, follow us there for this. Have a great day. Jay hasn't given me no more blankets. Oh, yeah. Well, you know what, Chris? When you start watching me more. I've missed you, Chris. I haven't seen you on my streams.
Drake said he wants me to take my house. My house is really boring outside of the 97 podcast. So again, you can download us, put a little nerdy in your pocket on all of those platforms. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We have an Instagram now. You go to instagram.com/justanothernerdypodcast and Twitter. You can follow us on all those platforms, and there will be clips all week from the interviews and from this podcast coming up throughout the week, so you can catch those clips. Share them. Do me a favor, guys. Share those clips with the world. Share them, and let people know how nerdy we can be, I guess. Okay. So, guys, we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye, guys.
Oh, and you can check out our Discord, too. Nuggy Meal is actually putting the clips up in the Discord.
Nice.
So if you want to see the funny clips of wife horses hitting me in the face and bear man fight brawls, you can go to Discord too. There's a button down below. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
That's not the right button. That's not the right button.
We're almost there.
That's not the right